Hey everyone, Raider here. Hope you're all doing great and having a fantastic day. So I've been playing around with S Notes here, doing a little bit of drawing. I like using the S Pen a lot on these Galaxy Book laptops. And according to Samsung's website, if we look here, apparently with the Book3 Pro 360, we're getting an updated S Pen this year, whatever updated means. Apparently it's supposed to be a little bit better for artists, so I've been using the pen quite a bit. I do take a lot of notes for my YouTube videos using this thing. And I've been comparing it to last year's Book2 Pro 360. So I have definitely found what the difference is. So as far as functionality goes, the S Pen's exactly the same. All your settings are the same. The only difference is in the pop-up menu, you no longer have live message, which was never a feature most of us used anyway. So that's not a big loss. But as far as the S Pen functionality, there's no real difference. It feels totally the same and all that, except for one thing. So new for this year, we have a 120 Hz refresh rate panel, of which I have it locked at 120 Hz refresh rate now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the difference between last year's S Pen and this year's S Pen. So up on your screen now, we're looking at some slow motion footage of last year's Galaxy Book2 Pro 360. And I want you to pay attention to how the ink is kind of coming out of the pen. Now when I mean ink, I obviously mean virtual ink. There's no real ink going on here. But look how it's coming out in little tiny blotches behind the pen. You see how it's doing that? Kind of like a blop, 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 blop. Little tiny little splatters there. Now while you're using the pen, it works fine and it feels fine. But now that we've done that, let's go ahead and cue up some footage of this year's Book3 Pro 360. And we're going to do the same little squiggly line in S Notes. Now look at the line that's being shown behind the S Pen. Look how smooth that is. Smooth as butter. That's our difference. That's our difference in this year's S Pen. So I don't think the latency has actually been reduced on the S Pen. It doesn't feel like that big a difference when you use it. However, I think that 120 Hz refresh rate is making a pretty huge difference. So as you can see between the two slow motion footage clips, we do have a pretty big difference on the perceived latency of this year's S Pens versus last year's S Pen. But otherwise though, I gotta be honest with you guys, I don't really notice any difference. And in day-to-day use, I can't really tell the difference. And the reason I mention that is because this Book3 Pro 360, when it was out on pre-order, it came out at like $16.99. But now the regular price for this, at least here in the United States, is $1,899. And if your main use case is to use the S Pen, I got to level with you. I would just pick up last year's Book2 Pro 360. You can find them on eBay all day long now, well under $1,000. So you will pay less than half of the cost of this new machine for almost the identical same S Pen experience. I mean, you saw that slow motion footage. Yeah, there's a difference, but when you're using it in real life, in real speed footage, real life, it's not really that big a difference. I'm just keeping it real with you guys. Like, if you're looking to upgrade just for the S Pen, don't do it. It's just not enough of a difference. So this is just a quick little video on a Friday. For those of you that are interested in the S Pen performance on this latest laptop, it's good. I like it a lot, and it is a little bit better than last year's, but it's not moving any mountains. And if your main use case is to use the S Pen, honestly, considering the $1,000 difference, I would just pick up last year's Book2 Pro 360. It's a great machine. S Pen performance is pretty much identical, and you're going to save about $1,000. So yeah, the S Pen's a little bit better this year. So far I've tested in S Notes and OneNote. I haven't used Clip Paint Studio yet though. I'll try that out probably this weekend or in this next week or so. If you have any questions or comments about today's video or any suggestions for a future video, please drop them down in the comments section below. And as always, thanks for watching.